Hello friends, welcome to the Yoga Still. My name is Krissie. I am a yoga teacher, I am a Reiki healer, and I hope that this becomes your home for all things woo curious. So I am doing a tour of some of my favorite decks, and today I'm bringing you the Oracle Wisdom deck from Deb Reagan. This is available at oraclewisdomspaces.com. I have feelings about this deck. I love this deck, but I don't use the guidebook. And I think that's an important distinction to make, because I don't want the intention of this deck, if it doesn't resonate with you, I don't want that to keep you from experiencing this deck. So the Oracle Wisdoms from Your Space deck is definitely organized as messages for your home. So there are, depending on what card comes out for you, there is suggestions on how to allow that to interact with your physical space. And this just did not resonate with me at all. I got the guidebook, I flipped through it, I was like, meh, and then I put the guidebook away. And I honestly have not looked at it since. I actually had to go looking for it to do this video today. But even with the intention of this deck not matching how I use it at all, this has become one of my absolute favorite go-to decks. One, because it's beautiful. Two, because it's simple. And three, it is just so intuitive to read. There's not a lot of things to understand. I also like how you can look at the color of the card as a chakra representation if you'd like. I just think this deck is beautiful. This is currently the deck that I am carrying around with me in my bag everywhere I go. So the backs of these cards fade from a blue-green to a green-blue. Sure, I'll explain it that way. Has a little yellow, a heart and a yellow circle in the middle, and then the different mandalas that, the different petals and the shape that comes out from this. When you put these in order, the color organization is beautiful. Again, very simple, very bright. I really like this deck. So let me show it to you. So we'll walk through each card. We have Courage. What I enjoy about this card is this reminder that I can connect to my creator, for source, for strength. That is like the most direct route for courage, but also there are other places in my life that can feed and fuel my courage. Unfolding is a reminder that our experience, our unfolding of ourselves, is a process. And it's this spiral, like Lindsay Mack teaches in Tarot for the Wild Soul. It's this spiral of learning about ourselves. Potential shows growth. Begin. I love how this symbolizes the ending of one circle and the beginning of another, and being right in that cusp of the middle. Now I'm going to be singing Closing Time. Resistance. This reminds me of sometimes how we can enforce too much order in our lives and get stuck on making things orderly without ever moving outside of our box. So to me, this reminds me of the days that I did a lot of creative bullet journaling, but never did anything that I put in it. Harmony. Self-love, trust, pleasure, restriction. When I see restriction, I think of the yogic idea of tapas, and how sometimes it's beneficial to us to use some sense of discipline, to use intentional restriction as a reminder for growth, as a way to grow. Now, I have issues with food, and I never encourage any sort of food restriction, but I think of this in my current 100 days wearing the same dress type of restriction, or, you know, or the people who do capsule wardrobes, or just various things that we do to create a pattern and a routine by enforcing intentional restriction. Empowerment, gratitude, flow. What starts at the bottom with strength flows up and out. We can share our ideas and our influences when we come from a rooted place. Self-worth. This is the card I drew today. Surrender. Look how beautiful. And then seeing the waves, the echoes of the surrender as they go out. Illuminate looks so much like surrender, and the bolts of light that shine out from the middle. Reclaim. Ancestral support. Bless. We acknowledge, we bless, we let it go. We watch it fly away. Forgive. Shining our light of forgiveness into our past and seeing how that changes and brightens the light that we shine out into the future. The yellows are my favorite. Vitality. Balance. Compassion. I love this card because of the flame that's at the center. Reminds me of the yogic concept of Purusa, that at the center of who we are, there's this light that shines out that not only helps us see more clearly, but also helps us be seen more clearly. And this reminder that this flame starts in ourselves and that we can show compassion to ourselves, going inside into our hearts, and then also showing compassion in what we create as the flower that grows. Center yourself. All is well. Joy. I love this color scheme too. Birth. This is a very popular card for me. Conceive. Imagination. Possibilities. Synchronicity. Speak your truth. Universal love. My word for the year and last year is magic. Explore. Getting into the blues, into the intuition chakra. We have wisdom. We have clarity. Simplify. Insight. Stillness. Passion. Vision is one of my favorite cards. I don't know who of you were around to remember several years ago when I got hit by the hawk in my car. And so many reached out to me and reminded me that birds are carriers of, especially hawks, are carriers of messages, and to be on the lookout for what's coming. And this was a reminder to me to be open with my eyes and open with my heart to what's coming. And yeah, to be open to seeing. Integrity, oneness, divine guidance, connection. This reminds me of my teacher, Anna, and how most of yoga is rooting to rise. We ground so that we can reach. We root so that we can bloom. And this reminder to both be with ourselves and focused on ourselves and be present with others. This presence, being interrelated. I think it's a beautiful card. Structural support, looking at what systems we can use to help organize in a way to reduce our stress, and really organization for the sake of support and security. Embrace, nurture, and cosmos. So friends, I'm going to do a 3-card draw for us. The way that I like to do these draws is with the reminder that you are receiving this message whenever you need it. I believe that each card holds the opportunity for reflection. Do I tell the future with my cards? Absolutely not. I see cards basically as pretty journal prompts, pretty things to think about that at times are divinely guided to help change our perception and make us ask a few more questions. So as I shuffle, I think of us as individuals. I think of us as a collective. And I trust that whatever comes up, there's room for reflection for each of us. And maybe, just maybe, an epiphany for one of us. So friends, when I do a 3-card draw, the first card represents who we are today. The second card represents what's crossing our path, what's coming. And then the third card is our guidance, is how we incorporate these two in our lives. Because sometimes these two, the first two, can seem overwhelming. And the third card is how we incorporate these two in our day-to-day. So who we are today is passion. Do I see this and see, oh, you're a passionate person, you're totally plugged in? Not necessarily. When I see this card, whatever shows up in this spot to me is more of an encouragement, a reminder that this is something we can seek to feel more connected and present. So where is your passion? So I'm gonna ask you to close your eyes if you're not driving. And just ask yourself what you're passionate about. And invite the awareness at some point today, 5 minutes, to step into your passion. That may look like cooking. That may look like spending time with someone you love. That may look like taking your dog for an extra long walk. But make a little note to yourself to look for opportunities to be in and with your passions today. If they're still closed, you can open your eyes. What's crossing our path is empowerment. Is this reminder that we are worthy of our passions? This reminder that we are worthy, we are good enough, we have all that we need. I am enough, I have enough, there is enough for me. leaning into this enoughness and letting this undercurrent of being enough empower you to stand up for yourself, to demand things, to remember your worth. When I see this card, to me, these look like buttons. It looks like we're pulling things together. We're pulling things to us. We're fastening them in. We're claiming them because we remember our empowerment. And then our guidance for how we do this is to look for and allow magic, to see magic in the opportunities to pursue our passions, to see magic in our own self-worth, to be open and aware to things that surprise us, that are joyful, that don't necessarily make a lot of sense, but they're good. To not question those things. I actually keep a magic journal of things that happen that remind me that that the world and me are working out for my own good. So who we are today, a reminder that our passions are valid. Find them, seek them, do them. What's crossing our path is this reminder to be empowered, to not settle for less than who you are, to draw what you want to you, to buckle it in and to claim it. And then how we do this is by remembering, looking for, leaning into our magic. Friends, thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Again, this is the Oracle Wisdom deck from Deb Reagan. And I hope you have a lovely day.